This is the most serious attack on free speech in Britain. Angela Rayner is reportedly set to get to grips with a blasphemy council. So Britain's new speech police are going to be created and dictated by Angela Rayner. She's decided that Britain really needs right now a council on Islamophobia. So much so that she's going to, as reports suggest, get together with Dominic Grieve. Now, Dominic Grieve is somewhat grievous in his attempts to undermine British democracy and British independence. He did all he could to overturn our vote for Brexit, and the Labour Party have got together with him to actually come up with these recommendations for what the definition of Islamophobia should look like. Now, make no mistake about it, this is deeply troubling. Dominic Grieve is wetter than an otter's pocket, and I am deeply, deeply concerned. This coming immediately after the Manchester police have named, and this is on the Free Speech Union website, Manchester police have actually named the guy who burnt a copy of the Quran, placing his life in immediate jeopardy and danger by effectively saying that there's a fatwa attached to his head that Greater Manchester Police themselves are solely responsible for, in listing not only this guy's name, but this guy's address as well. Let's not forget that the Batley Grammar School teacher is still in hiding today. Let's not forget that in Europe, we've just seen someone murdered for doing exactly the same thing. And Greater Manchester Police think it's a good idea to put a bounty on this man's head by naming his location. The man pleaded guilty to causing racially and religiously aggravated intentional harassment. Last time I checked, Islam wasn't a race. Labour are dragging us back to the Middle Ages, where actually questioning religious dogma could land you in hot water. It's a modern-day blasphemy law, but with extra diversity points for Angela Rayner there. Remember that clip of her surrounded in that living room, trying to convince a room full of Muslim men that Labour's policy on Gaza is strong enough, as if that is actually something that ought to be relevant to her constituents in the United Kingdom. It's insane. So you can see why she's doing it. Resist, resist, resist. Here's what Christopher Hitchens said, a lot better than I ever could.
It is very urgent business, ladies and gentlemen, I beseech you. Resist it while you still can, and before the right to complain is taken away from you, which will be the next thing. You will be told you can't complain because you're Islamophobic. The term is already being introduced into the culture as if it was an accusation of race hatred, for example, or bigotry, whereas it's only the objection to the preachings of a very extreme and absolutist religion.